This is the second part of our lesson on section 10.4. We're going to find the area of a trapezoid. This is what a trapezoid looks like. Now, for it to technically be a trapezoid, remember, you have to have a pair of parallel sides. So in this case, the top and the bottom would have to be parallel. We're just going to say in this section, if it looks like a trapezoid, we're going to call it a trapezoid. In a lot of the sections, they're going to tell you right in the directions that the shape is a trapezoid. Okay, well, trapezoids have two bases. You're going to add those two bases together, B1 and B2, and you're going to multiply it by the height of the figure. Now, notice how this height, it's vertical in this diagram. It doesn't always have to be vertical, but it's a segment that connects the bases at a right angle. So the height is perpendicular to the bases, just like it was in a triangle. Add those base lengths, multiply by the height, and then take half of it. So again, it's the same kind of concept where if you box this thing in, it would be the same concept. That's where the 1/2 comes from. Let's look at some examples. This is a trapezoid. So we're going to take 1/2 of the height times the sum of the bases. Our height in this standard looking trapezoid is 4, and the bases would be 2.5 and 8.5. You can type that entire expression into your calculator. You could also do it in your head also. 2.5 plus 8.5 is 11. And 11 times 4 is 44. Half of that is 22. So that's a quick way to do it in your head. But calculator works also if you're not sure. Make sure you put your square units on. The next example, I used the same color concept that we did in the previous slide and on the previous example. The blue segments are your bases. The red segment is your height. The orangish yellow segment is actually a segment that does not factor into the area at all. Do you realize why it doesn't factor in? Notice how it's not perpendicular to the bases, like the red segment is. We're using segments that are perpendicular. This is a trapezoid. So we're going to use this formula. Notice how I'm writing it down every single time. Also notice how the height is not the vertical segment this time. This time it's horizontal. The height is the 13. The bases are 9 and 16. And 9 times 16 is 25. We're going to do 25 times 13, and then we're going to take half of that. Okay, I do not have a calculator handy, but I'm going to grab one real quick here. That's a little bit too much for me to do in my head. So I'm going to type in 0.5, that's what 1/2 is, times 13 times 25, because that's what 9 plus 16 is. And it's going to give me 162.5. So that's technically half of your answer. The other half is the square feet that you have to put on there. Okay, so keep your eyes open for this odd example. They might, from time to time, tell you this also. Maybe that orange segment is 17. Make sure you're aware that you're not using that guy because it's a slanted segment. You want segments that are perpendicular to